Hello everyone. Today I'll be discussing with you section 82 and section 83 of IPC. They deal with liability of children for their criminal acts. See, section 82 and 83 both are very important. They are asked as objective type questions in PT examination and they are asked in mains examination as well. And various states have in the past asked this question in their mains and PT as well. Now, what kind of questions can be asked in mains examination? They can ask you directly, write a note on immunity of children from the prosecution, or are children immune from criminal liability? Or they can ask you, write a short note on Doli Capax, write a short note on Doli Incapax. Like this, they can ask you questions. And especially for Delhi Judicial Services Examination, जहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, वहाँ पे दे कैन फ्रेम फैक्चुअल मैट्रिक्स, एक प्रॉब्लम बना सकते हैं with all sorts of nuances, wherein the child is of either under 7 years of age or between 7 and 12 years of age. Therein you will have to see what they want to ask. Okay, because they usually ask problem based questions in Delhi Judicial Services Examination. So वहाँ पे problem based question भी आ सकता है. Now coming to section 82 and 83. 82 is absolute immunity, 83 is partial or qualified immunity. Okay, I'll explain you this. First 82. 82 क्या कहता है? 82 says act of child under 7 years of age. Nothing is an offense if it is done by a child under 7 years of age. Now, there are two phrases which are very important. First, nothing is an offense, and second, under 7 years of age. Nothing is an offense का क्या मतलब है? Nothing is an offense means, the usage of the word nothing is an offense means that section 82 is giving absolute immunity to a child who is under 7 years of age. Means if any offense whatsoever is committed by a child who's under 7 years of age, मतलब 7 years से कम है, then he will not be prosecuted upon. It will be illegal for the police officer to arrest that child, provided he is under 7 years of age. Okay, as soon as he attains 7 years of age, section 83 will be applicable. Okay, now 82 deals with the concept of Doli Incapax. Doli Incapax means incapable of committing a crime. Okay, now coming to the concept of Doli Capax, that is capable of committing a crime, which is dealt with under section 83. Now what does 83 say? 83 says nothing is an offense which is done by a child above 7 years of age and under 12 years of age who has not attained sufficient maturity of understanding. Okay, so यहाँ पे absolute immunity नहीं है, because there is a rider. That rider is who has not attained sufficient maturity. मतलब to give the benefit of section 83, you'll have to see, the courts have to see the maturity of the child. If the child is not mature, then he will get immunity from the prosecution. But if the child understands what he has done, if the child is mature enough to understand the consequences of his act, the nature of his act, then he will not get the immunity of section 83. Okay, now there was a case. The case was Ulla Mahapatra versus King. This case is of 1950. What happened in this case? There was an 11-year-old boy, a little over 11 years, not attained the age of 12. Okay, he threatened the deceased he threatened that he will cut him into pieces. Okay, he had a knife in his hand and he threatened him. And shortly after he threatened him, he stabbed him and the victim died. Now, obviously, the plea was taken of 83 during the prosecution, during the trial. But the court held that the fact that he had threatened with the knife meant that he had sufficient maturity and sufficient understanding of the acts. He did what he said. Therefore, he had complete understanding, and therefore he cannot take the benefit of section 83. Okay, now there is a saying. Okay, that saying is, malice makes up for the age. मतलब जितना ज़्यादा मैलिस होगा, जितने ज़्यादा क्रूअल एक्ट होगा, उतना ही ज़्यादा it would be understood that the child has maturity. Okay, obviously a child of immature understanding, a child who does not understand all these things, cannot perform an act with malice or gruesomeness or cruelty. So जहाँ पे cruelty है, malice है, वहाँ पे obviously it is understood, it is clear that the child is mature enough to understand what he is doing. Okay, now how is the age calculated? The age is usually, if there are no birth certificates or documents available, usually जो छोटे शहरों के केसेस में नहीं होते हैं, villages and all that में, bone ossification test, there are medical tests which help the doctors ascertain the age of the child. Now, another crucial question that is very crucial. You will have to see the age of the child on what date? Whether the age is important on the date of the crime, means on the date which the child committed the crime, or on the date when he was presented before the magistrate or he was brought before the magistrate. There were certain Supreme Court judgments, one saying the first thing, the other saying the other thing. So there was a bit confusion. That confusion has been cleared by the Constitution Bench of Supreme Court in Pratap Singh versus State of Jharkhand, AIR 2005. So in Pratap Singh versus State of Jharkhand, the Constitution Bench goes on to say that the age of the child is relevant on the date of commission of the crime and not on the date when he is presented before the magistrate. So he's under 7 years of age, or he is between 7 years of age or 12 years of age, that has to be seen on the date of the commission of the crime and not otherwise. I think I have made myself clear. Section 82, 83, both 82 deals with Doli Incapax, 83 deals with Doli Capax. There is a presumption under 83. The presumption is that the child has a sufficient maturity and the benefit would be given only to those children who have not attained sufficient maturity. Okay, that has to be proved before the court that they have not attained sufficient maturity. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thank you.